Good morning, dear students. This is part 5 of chapter 6, tissues. Already 4 parts of this chapter we have done, and in those parts we have done plant tissues and 2 types of animal tissues. Connective tissue and epithelial tissues have already been discussed, and in this part we are going to discuss third type of animal tissue, and that is muscular tissue. Okay, so let me start here with. As I told you, in this part we'll discuss about muscular tissue. Here you can see the pictures of 3 types of muscular tissues. They are smooth, cardiac and skeletal. One by one we'll discuss the structure of all the types of muscular tissues, their location in human body and their functions. Okay, so let me start. Muscular tissue. Muscle tissue is a soft tissue. This tissue composes muscles in animal bodies, and this tissue gives rise to muscles ability to contract. Due to this tissue only the muscles can contract. This tissue is formed during embryonic development, and the process of forming of this tissue is known as myogenesis. Muscular tissue consists of elongated cells, and those cells are also called muscle fibers. Muscle tissue is responsible for movement in our body. Without muscle tissues, body cannot move. Muscles contain special types of protein, and those proteins are called contractile protein, and this allows them to contract and relax. We can move some muscles by our conscious will, and some muscles we cannot move, and on the basis of their movement, on the basis of our conscious to move the muscles, those muscles are called involuntary or voluntary. Here you can see the pictures of 3 type of muscles. This one is cardiac muscles, that is skeletal muscles, and that is smooth muscle. As I told you, there are 3 types of muscles: skeletal, cardiac and smooth. In the picture the structure of these muscles can be seen clearly. Here this is skeletal muscle. You can see this blue dot is nucleus, that is cardiac muscle. Here also nucleus is there, and this is smooth muscles, and you find the nucleus over here. Okay, skeletal muscle. This is the first type of mm, muscular tissue, skeletal muscle. This muscle is called skeletal muscles. Why? Because they are mostly attached to the bones and they help in our body movement. These muscles are present in our limbs and they move when we want to them. They are in our control and we can stop them when we want to stop them. So the movement of these muscles are on our will, and that is why they are known as voluntary muscles. Under the microscope, if we see those muscles, the structure of these muscles have alternate light and dark bands of striations. That is why they are called striated muscles. The cells of this muscles tissue are long, cylindrical, unbranched and multinucleated. Multinucleated means more than one nucleus they have. That is why I am calling them multinucleated. Okay. In the picture you can see striated muscle cells. This is a magnifying diagram of skeletal muscle. You can see it that this is bone and this muscle is attached with the bone with the help of tendon. If you remember in last session we did ligament and tendon. Tendon is a type of connective tissue that is found at the place where bone and muscles are attached together. Okay, that is muscle fiber, blood vessels in the muscle, and these are the cover of the muscles: endomysium, fascicle and perimysium. I'll show you an animated diagram of muscles, and at that time I will tell what are these layers in muscles. Okay, here you can see the animation, how muscles are moving when we are bending our hand. The next one is smooth muscle. That is also a type of muscle tissue. And smooth muscle is used by various systems to apply pressure to vessels and organs. Smooth muscle is composed of sheets of smooth muscle cells, and that is why it is known as smooth muscle. These cells have fibers of actin and myosin, which run through the cell and are supported by a framework of other proteins. Actin and myosin are special type of proteins that are found in muscle fibers. And here in this picture, you can see the structure of smooth muscle. This is nucleus. The movement of food in the alimentary canal or the contraction and relaxation of blood vessels are involuntary movements. We cannot control them, we cannot start them, we cannot stop them. If I am eating the food is supposed to go to my stomach via alimentary canal. Okay, so these type of activities are involuntary, and these muscles are found in alimentary canal. They are involuntary muscles because these are the muscles they control all involuntary activities over here. Okay, here in the picture you can see the structure of the smooth muscles. This one. Okay, muscles are also found in the iris of the eye. Again, we cannot control the movement of the iris. Okay, that is involuntary. In ureters and in the bronchi of lungs. The cells of these muscles are long with the pointed ends. You can see over here the end of these muscle cells are pointed. Okay, and you can say the shape of this muscle is spindle shape, spindle. And these muscles are uninucleated. It means they have only one nucleus. Okay, these muscles are also called unstriated muscles. You can see the animation of muscle contraction over here. This is the contraction of smooth muscles. The another animation, contraction and relaxation can be seen very beautifully over here. Okay, now the next one is cardiac muscle. Cardiac muscles are heart muscles. These muscles are involuntary muscles and they are striated muscles. These muscles constitute the main tissue of the walls of the heart. Why they are involuntary? Because we cannot control the movement of heart. The rhythmic motion of heart muscles is for lifetime. If you want to stop them, you cannot. As I told you, these muscles show rhythmic contraction and relaxation throughout your life. These muscles are cylindrical, branched, and uninucleate, means they have only one nucleus. In the picture provided over here, you can see the structure of cardiac muscle cells. And this picture is magnified picture of this small portion. Okay, and you can see branches can be seen in these muscles. Here, see, branches are there. If you are following my red pen, you can see that I am drawing branches over here that can be seen clearly. Okay, beautiful animation that is showing rhythmic contraction and relaxation of heart. And in this rhythmic motion, cardiac muscles are helpful. Cardiac muscles are very strong structure of the muscle. A muscle consists of many muscle tissues, and those muscle tissues are bundled together and they are surrounded by a tough connective tissue that is very much similar to the cartilage and that is known as epimysium. And this epimysium surrounds a bundle of nerve cells that run in a long fiber and that is known as fascicles. And again, these fascicles are surrounded by their own protective layer and that layer is known as perimysium. This layer allows nerves and blood to flow the individual fibers, and each fiber is then wrapped in endomysium, that is another protective layer. So, that is the structure of a muscle. It has so many layers, and as you can see in animation also, actually, a muscle can be called a bundle of fibers or tissues. So a muscle is arranged in a basic pattern of bundled fibers separated by protective layers. So okay students, this was about muscular tissues, and in this session we discussed three types of muscles: muscular tissues, skeletal, smooth and cardiac. I hope you liked this session, and now we'll meet in part C of this chapter, and there we will discuss about the last tissue of animal tissue, the last type of animal tissue, and that is nervous tissue. Okay, thank you students. Now we'll meet in part 6.